Good afternoon and welcome to Salonpreneur Magazine YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be talking with Debbie Allen, who writes with us all around mindset, bit of sort of like life coachy, bit of education. Debbie's got so many years in the industry, and so for the January edition of Salonpreneur, Debbie's article is on page 100, and it's all about money, mindset and manifestation. And I think we kind of see manifestation as a very woo thing, don't we? I think it's sort of like come around to be like, oh, we have to manifest and affirm we're going to get all this amazing stuff in our lives. And actually, manifestation's quite different, isn't it? So hello and welcome, first of all, Debbie.
I am. Yeah, hi. Yeah, I mean, especially this time of year, I think people are like, but this year I'm going to manifest this, this, and this, and this, which is great. And I hope everybody does. And it's a bit like our goal setting, as you and I often talk about. But I think manifesting isn't so much woo, it's training your brain to recognize the opportunities out there,
Yeah,
really. And it is brain training. Rather than sitting back, waiting for the universe to rescue you.
yeah, because that isn't,
Which is what
that's not
people,
happening.
if I do this, if I do all these affirmations, if
Yeah,
I, in the mirror every day, and to say this, but you could say it 100 times over if your subconscious and your nervous system isn't believing that. They are just words in the mirror. So, it's brain training. It's using that part of the brain that is our filter system.
yeah,
Reticular activating system is the more technical term
yes,
for it. Training it to notice the opportunities, notice where the opportunities for earning money are,
yeah,
and not to shy away from it, which some of us do. Like there's an opportunity, and that could be a client I could pay for, they would be a good client of mine. And then you find, as I said in the article, and you and I do, and I know you've done more recently,
yeah,
you've actually gave a lot of advice for free and think, oh, I've,
yeah.
I've lost an
Always doing
opportunity.
it, always doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah, because you've done it and you didn't value, well, rather than actually, I could really help you with this.
Yeah,
This is something I could offer. Here's my card. Give me a call. And you
yeah.
find instead you've actually done half the work with them.
Yeah, and it is, and I think and I think we tend to as well as an industry, and especially if you're in that kind of coaching, mentoring thing, is that, and I mean, we do with the hypnotherapy that we both do, is that you get like free consultation, and I think even within that process, with what we do with that, it's a bit different. But I think so many of us in the sort of like that kind of helping people role will do like a discovery call of a free consult or whatever label you want to put on it, and we are giving our time for free, and obviously you're hoping that the people are going to then book with you, but sometimes that overruns, and I think we want more money in our pockets, but we just don't always know how to ask for it. So we had to have a little quick break there because my dog was barking and my noise settings were wrong. So we're now back in the room with the noise settings in the correct place. So as we were saying about how we give our time away so freely, and I think it's partly because we are people pleasers as an industry, but this, we know this goes across more than just if you're in the coaching or mentoring space, don't we? It's a lot.
Yeah, with lots of things. I mean, we see it a lot, don't we, with um nail
Yeah,
techs not really charging their worth. Um, because it's a struggle, obviously, with some of the cheaper nail bars that are out there that
yeah,
don't have the same costs, um, and don't have the same standards.
no,
But it is recognizing your with manifestation, let's recognize what our skills are, have a goal, what you want to earn, what you want to achieve that year, but then
yeah,
you've actually got to put it into practice. You've actually got to make those steps. So it's all those little things. Let's have a really good policy on what we're
yeah,
going to do. Let's have a really good pricing system so everybody can see. So not one, and I worked with someone recently with their business. She's complementary therapist, and she works within a salon, but she rents a room. I'm worried about putting my pricing up because I've only charged, it was very, very low prices, but she's a fabulous therapist and she's done lots of additional courses with me. So I said, but when someone goes into the same salon and they spend cut, colour, highlights, we added it all up, and they've had all that done and they had found the money for that. So why would they not for their wellness,
Yeah.
for keeping them well, for keeping, for working on your mental health, for working on your physical health? Why would you be less value? She said, well, no, she said, but I just feel my clients can't afford it. They're the same clients.
Yeah.
And then you'll see online, those clients have had this amazing holiday in Dubai. So they could have afforded that
Yeah.
£5 price rise, that £10
Mm.
price rise to bring you in, giving you basically minimum wage. Because by the time you've spent out, people, all of the things you've taken out, and it's no good sitting there waiting to manifest these higher price clients and a better working environment. You have to recognize the opportunities and train your brain to recognize them, because that's
Yeah.
what your brain does naturally.
Yeah.
Whatever you focus on, it's going to look for those opportunities.
And I think we have a tendency, don't we, that and society and us within the industry, to think that manifesting is just woo, and you put it out to the universe or to whatever higher power, and you keep asking and asking and asking, and asking for the help and whatever, and basically what you are doing, the neurological part of what you're doing when you're doing that every day is really scientific, isn't it? Because as much as as long as you repeat it, but it is that brain training, isn't it, of like saying, I believing that you are worthy to have that. It's funny, I've just been at an event the weekend and there was a whole thing around like, you have to have the belief that you are worthy of having that money. And if you have self-doubt that if you believe you should only be charging £25 for a full body massage, and that's what you believe you're worth, trying to manifest anything beyond that is going to be challenging, isn't it? Because
it's often from, it comes from past, doesn't it? It may be upbringing, it may be how you found when you first went into the workplace, maybe when you first had your business. So events may have happened, and it's your subconscious is keeping you safe. That RAS is, well, this happened. And that wasn't so good, was it? Do you remember when you did have those good weeks and you weren't, and you got a bit burnt out and a bit overwhelmed? So in a way, it's self-sabotage that goes on behind the scenes. So it's recognizing when you do that.
Yeah.
And no, that was then. I've learned from that. I can move on. But it's not easy for everybody. Sometimes you do need a little bit of help with that. And money mindset, I think. Everybody that, no, I'm fine, I'd love to earn more money. But there are things, then the same people you find when you have the conversation, delve a bit deeper, there are things that have happened. And so they do. So, I mean, you and I have had this conversation before.
Yeah. And as you're saying this, I've got my whole list of my barriers, obstacles, and objections that go around in my head every time I want to make a sale, because I know that by doing that, and I'm not going to go into it on here, but I know that I've got historical triggers that really do make me not want to earn a lot of money sometimes. And it's like, and I know that goes on in my head. I have internal conversations going, now stop that.
But some of us don't recognise that. I mean, but really and truly, we do all have opportunities to earn money. And I think have to choose that opportunity, though.
Yeah, and I think, like you're saying, is, I mean, I know we used to do a lot of work, or my husband used to do a lot of work with a guy who you would look at and just go, God, he is the luckiest person. But actually, and to a degree, he's people would say he's lucky, things have landed in his lap, and he's taken every opportunity given to him. But the thing is that, like you were just saying, is that he's got his head set to see those opportunities, and he's got a mindset that allows him to go, I'm going to risk that. And because he's got so much self-belief, he started trading at school. I mean, his story is amazing, but he started trading at school, selling pens and chocolate bars and whatever in the playground when he was like a teenager.
Yeah.
And he's now like a multi-million-pound business now, because he's always had an entrepreneurial streak, and he's seen opportunity and gone, actually, do you know what? So-and-so didn't have a pen the other day. They really needed a pen. They got in a load of trouble. And so if I actually bought some pens, I can make some money. And so we haven't got a tuck shop anymore or whatever. So he's seen opportunity and taken advantage of it.
That's it. He's looked at the opportunity and gone for it. And he's probably also gone for things that didn't work. I mean,
Yeah,
we know
absolutely.
all of the big entrepreneurs have had business that didn't work. If anybody ever watches Dragon's Den, they have
Yeah,
businesses that really fly, and they have some that doesn't work. But they took the opportunity and the chance and gave it all a go. I mean, you've got Richard Branson. He looks like he's led a charmed life with his
so haven't.
beautiful island, but he hasn't. And it is that looking for opportunities, and it is noticing. And other people may say, but that those opportunities never come my way to notice. They do. If I go on a car journey with Martin, my husband, we go on a journey, and he'll often say, you know, when the new number plate comes out, I don't even know what it is. He said, oh, I've hardly seen any new plates. That's the first new plate. I've seen about 3 new plates today. I've not seen any plates of any description. We're on
Yeah,
the same journey. My
yeah,
brain isn't trained to look for that.
no,
So, but I think, isn't that weird? We're on exactly the same car journey, we're sitting next to each other. One of us is seeing
yeah.
all of these number plates or a certain make of car. I'm just away with the fairies,
Yeah.
not even looking at the cars.
But it is, isn't it? That whole thing, like you mentioned in the article about, seeing the red minis,
Yeah.
and once you see something, your brain is looking for that pattern again, isn't it?
But
And
if
it's
you
moving
want
past it.
something, if you really want something and you set that as your goal and that's what I'm going to have, your brain will keep highlighting that. So it is, if you set your heart, I want this red mini,
Yeah,
you will start seeing them. You will see them on the road. No one else on the road has no. For me, I probably haven't seen a red mini and I don't know how long, but
yeah,
they will be on the roads with me.
yeah,
They will be there.
yeah,
But someone that is their goal, that's what I'm going to get this year, will be seeing them everywhere. It's like it's a certain designer bag or something that you've got your eye on. It
yeah,
pops up. If you know you want something, you don't have to work out the whole journey of how you're going to get there.
no,
This is what I want. This is where I want my business to go. I'm going to set my focus on that. Then your focus will be, but you have to set it and then you've got to action it. So what can I do? So I'm at point A, here's point Z right at the end. I need to work through all those steps to get there. That's exactly the
yeah,
same as if you were just going to save for your red mini or something. This is what I need to do. But you have to be intentional. You can't do, this is what I want, universe, could you
yeah.
please make me an overnight breakfast television sensation?
Oh, wouldn't that be good?
Yeah, it's not. Those people who do that job had really crappy jobs leading up to that to
Yeah,
get them where, and they were runners. They've done, they've earned their stripes to get there, and and we all need to do the same. But they
yeah,
were determined that's what they were going to do. So it is that determination, half-hearted,
yeah.
and the worst thing we can do, and probably you and I are quite good at, is we can procrastinate over an idea.
Maybe.
We know there's going to be things that happen along the way. However, we can still keep going forward with the goal that we
Yeah.
want and that we're setting.
It is, and I think for me, I know one of the things I'm going to be doing, because I actually need to go back through your article and pull it all down into my head far more. And I think most of us as business owners, we all have, if you've got a salon, you might have a training academy, you might have some online stuff going on, and you've got to kind of work out what the overarching of all of that stuff is, haven't you? And I think that's where I know I'm going to put my focus this year, is working out my bigger part of what my ecosystem falls into.
Yeah, you
I'm going
need
to have
that.
that on my wall, so I've got something to just keep hitting those neural pathways, going, this is where we're going.
But it is focus with intention, isn't it?
Yeah,
Not just focus into the woo. It is, we need to focus with intention. Like you say, get it down on paper, work out what your pillars are.
yeah,
These are my things that I'm known for. We are multitasking women anyway. I would
yeah,
say most of the female entrepreneurs in our profession are. We're not just great at one thing.
no,
We are good at many things, so we don't have to think, oh, but I need to just niche and do this. Yeah, you need to have your overarching intention and focus of where you want your business to be.
yeah.
but you know within that you are capable of a lot of things. That doesn't mean we have to pick up all the balls and try and juggle them all at once.
And it doesn't take us anywhere, does it? I mean, if you want to manifest burnout, that's the way to do it, isn't it? It's just keep focusing on so many different things. And like you say, you know, we both know how when you get that neuroplasticity working and you get your neural pathways working properly and you get all of your subconscious parts doing the things they need to do to help move you forward with confidence, because so much of it comes down to whether or not you've got the confidence to push yourself forward and to keep taking those different steps. And see, when you see those opportunities, what it's that there's so many what ifs, and if I do that, then this happens, then there's another three.
What ifs are, I used that earlier, or I was talking to someone else and I did a what if, and then I pulled myself back. Let's worry about the what if we get there, because that what if could not even be a thing.
Yeah.
We're worried about what we're doing now. So even with all the stuff that we do, that we're juggling, and you know how the juggler works, and they've got all these balls in the air, they're only holding one. That's focus on the one we've got in our hand now.
Yeah.
The rest can just stay out there. We'll pick them up at another time. But okay, well, I'm juggling. This is the one that's taking priority. Let's keep hold of that ball and do that. And don't use those phrases like, well, I'm just going to see what happens, because I can guarantee you nothing will happen if you just sit back and wait and see. That does appall me when people do that. I don't mean we've got to hustle all the time. But see what happens is already kind of admitting defeat. Well, I'm going to see if this happens, if it takes off.
See if it works.
We've got to get forward with determination. You haven't decided it's going to, you have to make that decision. This is going to work. And this is going to work for me. We all have that same capacity to earn a living. We all have that same capacity, no matter what's happening in lives, physical, everybody has unique skills, literally very unique skills that can be used to work and earn a living. So it's honing those and recognize and praising yourself. Actually, I am good at that. I can do that. Where our brains are being led at the moment is very techno and very AI, which feels like it's making life easier, but actually it's probably just giving you overload, which stops you in a way that just stops us moving forward. So we're not focusing. Well, I looked on ChatGPT and that told me to do this, that it did it, but it's not real. So you decide between you, the conscious you, and your crew on board, you decide what you actually want to do and forget all the white noise. And then let's start moving forward with that. This year is going to be more gentle with how we do things. I think there's been a lot of harshness, and I think we need to come back to human nature, gentleness, and that way you'll get your self-belief back and be able to manifest what you need in life, not just what you think, what everybody else is around you is shouting loudly, you need to do this, you need to do that. Actually, what do you need as a person, not what do you think you should be doing? It's the should be's, isn't it, that make it.
Absolutely. And as we know, the musts, I mean, like shoulds and musts, they're just problematic, aren't they? And I think, just listening to what you're saying, I think like part of the point of what you're talking about is about having self-compassion and understanding and forgiving yourself for not doing 300 things that day and not necessarily ticking that thing off your list, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. You can set a goal that in the next 6 months you're going to have all these different things, but it's your plan, it's your goal list, and if you need to move it by a week, does it really matter?
By a week, things happen. Things get put on hold. It doesn't mean it's never going to happen. But giving up on your dreams doesn't need to be a thing. You just have to recreate it a little bit. That's all.
It, isn't it? It's like, we were due to meet yesterday, weren't we? And you had a bit of a day and I had a bit of a day, and it's like, you know what, let's just move this a day forward, because yes, we've got this, we've already had to move it once, haven't we? But it's like, but we both know that, like, yes, the goal is to get this recording completed and to get it onto YouTube and do all the stuff that goes with that. However, if it happens today or it happens next week, no one's going to die. We're not going to have a massive problem, and the goal's still going to be achieved, but we've just had to reassess where it happens and how we then take the next step forward. And there's no shame in that. There's no horror story. You know, we're all adults. We can all kind of recognize that sometimes we have to make adjustments.
Yeah, that's right. Don't carry any guilt and shame for changing stuff, moving stuff, or feeling that you've let someone down. That you haven't, because if you struggle through stuff, the only person you're letting down is yourself, because you've made yourself go through and do extra stuff that actually wasn't aligned with you at that point, at that time of day or whatever. And if that is, you know, manifestation is so much more about that nervous system regulation, rather than I'm just going to think positive, I'm just going to get on with it. No, I'm going to actually listen to what I need to do at this point. But you obviously, you know, get yourself a notebook, get yourself a journal. You've got a lovely chart up on your wall.
I have got a lovely chart up on my wall. I now have a very organised whiteboard. For the first time ever.
I mean, I'm online, but I've got my very pretty diary this year, because I want to see stuff in a little planner as well. I want to have, and I didn't really last year, but I want this year to be a bit more tactile, a bit more, as much as possible, connection with people, with nature, and with, you know, the internal me, that little bit of me that's just doesn't want to do the hustle anymore.
I know, and I think that's it. One of the things, when I was in the room, I went to Katie Godfrey's live event on Sunday, which was it was an amazing day, room full of amazing women, and one man, loving Neil from Timely. He was the only man in the room, which was like quite problematic for him at different points. But being in that real life experience with all those people and the energy in that room, it kind of, you know, I think everybody kind of came away just going like, wow, because you know there was so many successful people in there that you can aspire to, but also then there's other people that are at the beginning of their journey and have only been in business 6 months and have taken the leap to go to that event, and you know, and there was just so many people from so many different backgrounds, and it was just such a lovely place to be and to feel that energy.
And I think that's why which is obviously why I'm getting back to doing my in-person events and stuff.
I'm so excited to see what you and Tracy events are going to be doing.
Feels that the time is right for that, and to do it in a more gentle way, so that people aren't just like bombarded with load of different stuff, but everyone to be connections again, to make those connections in a room with people, because it doesn't matter where anybody is on their journey, really. You know, we talk about the ladder, but in all honesty, it's a circle, because somebody's at the beginning of this circle where you sort of think, oh yeah, well I've already been round there, but then you come around and think, wow, that was brilliant, look what they've done, I didn't think of that, because they've come at something new with fresh eyes, fresh energy. And we just sort of I think humans who can work together in a nice way complete each other. I've gone into being a therapist, so what can I do? Okay, I can look after my clients to the best of my ability. I can develop my skills further to do that, and my goal for the year will be to help other people move forward with their lives and business even better. So that's the goal. But also I have to recognise I can't do that for free, because I have bills to pay.
Back to the beginning.
And that's what we've all got. I've got those bills to pay. So I am going to have to, the skills I have to be monetised. And the world will all work so much better if everybody gets paid what they should be paid.
And I think for me, what goes through my head as you're saying that, and I'm sure, and I hope, I'd like to think I speak for, but I hope I speak for so many of us in this industry, because I know, and you know, that I've got a problem with this word just. The thing, because we just do nails, or we just do massage, or we just do hair, means that we have less value. And and we probably shouldn't be earning the amount of money that an oncologist earns, because they're an oncologist and they're a very different level of profession from where we are. But it doesn't mean we're not professionals. It doesn't mean that we don't have the right to be paid.
You say we shouldn't earn as much. Sometimes we reach far more people than they have on their lists.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes we work with people that affect their mental health that may not have hung around if they didn't have people like us.
Indeed.
So,
I think
again, you've put a little barrier in there that you didn't realise you did.
I know, yeah, probably. But I suppose maybe it's just years of working in the health service and knowing what they get paid and how they get there.
Yeah.
And knowing what the professors and stuff and how much it takes to become a professor. And maybe I have all of that still in my head of because they did used to put us down because we were just secretaries or just PAs or whatever. Even though when I was there, I was like PA to the chief executive, so I couldn't get any higher in my PA list. But I wasn't one of them.
All of us good therapists, we know so much about, we put a lot of time and effort in. So yes, we're not necessarily on their pay scale, but there are many entrepreneurs who earn way above what they earn.
They can be,
because they put themselves out there and they have worked their socks off to get to that level. I mean, Deborah Meaden hasn't got a degree in medicine.
No.
Actually, she's on Deborah. I should imagine she earns a lot more than most people.
I would imagine that she probably does, yes.
And she's very much into health and welfare, and with a lot of her businesses now, she's quite holistic. But we don't think, well, she shouldn't earn that because she didn't get a degree. She's not a professor. It's a different way of doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if only we could all be Deborah Meaden. Yeah.
If only we all had her work ethic. That's the difference.
Well,
and let's go for it.
And again, it comes back to drive, determination, motivation, doesn't it? It's like,
let's do it. And she's got that, and her part of her brain is switched on. She's noticing opportunities. This is right up my street. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Whereas, that's a shame. Someone else has already done that, is what a lot of people in our industry, I was going to do that, but someone else. Doesn't matter, because not everybody knows that person. Deborah doesn't do anything unique that no one else does either.
No.
She absolutely
and also,
doesn't.
we have to remember that even though we may be doing, like you and I, we both provide the same treatments. We both are very passionate about aromatherapy. We both love it. And yet your aromatherapy treatment and my aromatherapy treatment and what we say to our clients and how our hands feel on that client, how we drape, how we do all of it will be so different. No, if you put us next to each other doing treatments on the same person, one after another, they'd had very different experiences.
Yeah, completely different. We both work with mindset and do stuff and how we work. But what the difference is, you and I don't compete.
No.
If you had something with a client, you're quite happy, look, I've got this, what do you think? Because it's much nicer to have someone, look, I've got some, because it's just nice to be able to collaborate with people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And work. So I think that's the thing, that more collaboration. And I think you will manifest what you want much easier if you carry other people along with you, rather than I'm keeping this to myself, I'm not telling it. And I can understand why people get like that. You and I have been in situations where business partnerships hasn't worked out.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it doesn't mean that we're never going to trust anybody again or trust our own instincts again. No. We did something, we learned a lesson.
Yeah.
We've moved on.
Yes.
We're not going to retreat, and that's how life works with every entrepreneur. That will be the same with, we've just spoke about Deborah Meaden. She'd have had loads of people she's worked with, now doesn't.
Yeah.
She didn't think, all right, I'm never going to work with anybody.
Yeah. And I think because we're going on a long way today, but that whole thing about the guilt, the shame, the what will people think, and all of that stuff, and like over the last year, I've like, again, because I've not had this happen to me more just the once, is that you do need to learn a lesson, and you just have to move on, because the person that was going through that at the same time as you, they've gone off in their different direction. I don't know if they're paying me a second thought about any of it. But over the years, when I've had those different situations occur, all you can do is look after you and step forward into your future. That's all you can do. And it's really
it is about listening. I mean, it's not, I'm never saying to do anything nasty when we don't put people down, but you do have to realise not everybody has the same goals as you.
Yeah.
I was going to say the same integrity. I think people do have integrity, but it's not how we perceive it.
Yeah. It's
So,
just different values, isn't it?
so
At the end
we
of the day?
needed, and we did a different pathways. The trouble we've had, which again comes back down to way back from childhood, is that people pleasing.
Yeah,
I don't want to
absolutely.
do that because I don't want people to not like me. Those
Yeah.
people who don't like you don't matter. And Tracy Pence and I were talking earlier, I said there's somebody who I think actually isn't that keen on me. It's quite funny. Does it matter? No, I don't even really know them. I've met them once in person. Maybe I feel a threat. I don't, but is it going to stop me doing what I do? No, because I'm
No.
going to move forward. As long as I know I'm moving forward, I'm not hurting anybody in the process. We need to move forward, and we still need to keep doing stuff. And you and I still, we've got, I mean, I'm older than you. I'm creeping up to retirement age, if only. I need to keep working, but
Yeah.
actually, now I'm doing what I want to do. Now I'm doing what aligns with me. So my focus is easier. My focus is clearer, and there is that things happen and there's shiny objects. I'm not quite as bad as you, a shiny
No,
object.
I am bad for a shiny object. I think what it is with me, and I'm sure probably many of our people that watch and listen to this or whatever, is that I see an opportunity and I think that can help people.
Yeah.
And I think for me, one of my drivers is helping people. So if I see something that is a vehicle to help people, I'm more likely to jump on it and to act on it. And that's something that I've got to review, because unless it's a vehicle that I get on by myself and I'm the driver, then that's the lesson I've learned over the many years that I've had experiences where when I've been co-driver, it doesn't always work out, because it's that values and the alignment and stuff. If you've got two drivers or multiple drivers, because in some instances it's been multiple drivers, everyone's trying to go in different directions. And
no, but also it's seeing those shiny and those opportunities. You may see the opportunity. I think you've got to have a fixed idea. What are the opportunities you're actually looking for?
Yeah.
If they're random things that come up, you've got to really think about it.
Yeah.
Because it may just be taking you off at a tangent.
Yeah. And that's what happens
not so much
every
an
time.
opportunity, it's a diversion.
Yeah.
But there are, there's big diversions, there's little diversions, and I've got this ball in my hand.
Yeah.
All the balls I'm juggling, I've got this
Everything
one.
else is like freeze frame. Every other ball.
Until I've worked on the ball I've got,
Yeah.
I'm not moving on to, but it is those diversions we've got to, so it's training your brain. I'm going to look for the right opportunities.
Yeah.
And they've got to be opportunities that are in line with my goal for the year.
Yeah.
And rather than, oh, I've gone off on a tangent and I've got a diversion. And actually, come the end of the year, I didn't get half the things. Do you know why? Because I went off and did that.
Yeah.
So this is it. So if you see if you see an opportunity, will it take you nearer to your goal, or will it take you further away from your goal? That's as simple as that. And you need to actually consciously sit down and look at it. Don't let that little crew member who's the people pleaser come on board and say, yeah, but you know what? We could do that, and everybody's going to know. Is that it's been having more clarity and more intention in your head that this is where I want to be by the end of the year. Will this opportunity bring me closer to it, or will it divert me away from it?
Yeah.
And if it's going to divert you away, then there may be that say no. And sometimes, but then I'm going to regret not doing that. Are you? At the end of the day, in 5 years' time, is that a major regret? Because perhaps it wasn't for you.
Yeah. But there's that, there's part of your, if you've got a notebook that you write in, or if you've got a whiteboard, or wherever you create your things you need to do and remember, just put it on a shelf. I've got on my whiteboard, I've got so many, and I now do write down when someone says to me, oh, Sue, you should be doing this, or Sue, you should be doing that. I'll quite often now just write it down and just go, I don't want to forget it, because that was a real big spark in my head, and it sparked loads of stuff, but it's not for now. And it's like, we need a to come back to list.
Yeah, but I think it's also not should be.
Yeah.
These are things that I could be
Yes.
doing.
Yeah.
You know, the should be list starts to feel a bit, again, it's a bit of a weight on your shoulder. Oh, but yeah, but I should have been doing. Should you? Or is it something you could do when the
Yeah.
opportunity
Yeah.
arises?
Yeah. And then there's always the things that you will do and that actually work. Right. Anyway, we probably best leave it there because we've been chatting for a while.
Yes.
We might have to break this into two parts. Anyway, so thank you so much for coming on. And if you want to read Debbie's full article, which actually is quite different to what we've been talking about today, isn't it? It's like I do. This is what I love about these, is that we sort of touch on the subjects and it just goes off on whatever tangent and just talks around the article rather than actually through the article. So thank you very much for coming on today, Debbie. And see you for the next edition.